Oh, landmines and jellyfish. Welcome back to Knives, I guess. And the Mothman borrowed $5 from me and he won't pay me back. I need one of you guys, if you'd be so kind as to throw cinder blocks at him until he gives me my $5 back. I'd be greatly appreciative. Please. But we did another live stream last night and we went in on this guy right here. And we got a Schrade. And let's take a look at it, get some eyeballs on it real quick. So you've got a flipper tab. The pocket clip was tipped down, and I hate tip down, but we all live in sin. You got thumb studs. Let's flick the bean. And you got a liner lock here. And first things first, the pocket clip had to go. That stream was 4.5 hours long, and I think into about the hour-and-a-half mark, that pocket clip really bit me right here, and it was not comfortable. But we went for 4.5 hours trying to see if we could rub the coating off on this, and it turns out it's a titanium nitride coating, which it's not going anywhere. You know, 4.5 hours of cutting, and the only thing I have is adhesive from the tape on the boxes stuck to it. That's the only problem we have here. And the blade is 9CR18 MOV. That is the nicest steel that we have tested on Cardboard Slayer thus far on the live streams. And everybody in the stream, as well as myself, were very, very pleasantly surprised. 4.5 hours, and it was still going fairly strong. Like, it could still do an okay copy paper cut. And at the end of that, I spent about 3, maybe 4 minutes stropping it while we were closing the stream out. And off of that strop, we got a cut that I messed up, first and foremost. But you know, it's still going, like, the edge on this is an edge that I could carry and work with and be just fine. That 9CR18 held up like a champ. You know, I am so surprised that 4.5 hours of non-stop pushing it through cardboard, both regular Amazon boxes and some really hard stuff to cut. And that hard stuff to cut, I made the mistake of accidentally starting it on it sideways and going against the grain, and it still cut that. You know, I put it through it, and that edge held up pretty damn strong. You know, I will say with the hollow grind it has on it and the reasonably large flat it has right here, it really hung up in the bottom of the cuts, and it squeaked so loud pulling it back out. Like, that was a bit of a surprise. I haven't heard a knife make that much noise, but this is kind of a matte finish on it, so there's going to be more friction than a glossy finish, of course. And I will say, a little past halfway into it, this right here and this right here started to hurt, and that was not uncommon for these knives. Like the Buck 110 didn't cause that problem. The Open L didn't really cause that problem. The buckshot knives didn't cause that problem, but the other knives I've done did. And a lot of that was how I had to hold this while I was pushing through. And yeah, I was holding it and pushing it, and like the pocket clip dug in and bit me right here. And every time I've done this, the next day, this part of my thumb is just kind of numbed out, and it takes about a day for it to recover, which is the weirdest thing. I wake up in the morning going, oh God, tell me I didn't do something serious. But, you know, this was a very, very pleasant surprise, and I got this maybe 5 or 6 years ago off Amazon for $12. I don't know if I mentioned it, but Schrade SCH 509R, and I wish they would start naming their stuff. Jesus, Schrade. Please give these things a name besides letter salad. Make it easy on us. But it was $12. It's no longer sold on Amazon, and I figured, you know, a $12 knife, it's going to do so-so on the Cardboard Slayer, and I wasn't worried about edge retention. I was worried about the coating. However, that edge retention was something else. You know, it makes me a little scared of trying to go in on like S30V or anything like that, because I know I'll be there for 4 days. And one thing that came up in the chat too on the live stream was some of the knives I had problems with alongside that old 440 back in the 1990s or so. The ones marked Pakistan stainless. You know, it was hard to get away from Pakistan stainless pocket knives. They were kind of everywhere, especially gas station grade stuff, and that was kind of a lot of what I had. And those things, they came from the box pretty dull, and they went stupid dull, stupid fast. So that's one of those things. I want to test one of those and see if my complaints about that are as valid as I remember. I may look on eBay and see if I can find a stainless Pakistan folding knife just to do a stream on and really wail on it with the cardboard. I think that would be fun and educational. You know, I want to see if I was as right as I think I am about them. I was kind of right about the old 440 and 420 steels. They did a little better than expected, but not too much better. So I think that would be kind of interesting to check out. It's a shame that like I haven't seen those in years. Like they just stopped showing up stateside. You know, the only way to find Pakistani knives now is to go into knife groups on Facebook, and a lot of those are custom knives with all the flourishes and bells and whistles, and they're all fixed blades and stuff like that. They're not really folding pocket knives. Like those things just went away, and they got replaced by knives from China that were pretty damn awful at that point in time. But you get stuff like this, $12 with that kind of edge retention. It's a hell of a time to be a knife guy. Just so much good stuff for so cheap, and just more and more of it's coming out. And then the way nicer stuff than this that would have been hella expensive not too long ago. 30, $45 to get you a good knife that'll take you wherever you want to go, unless you're in an extremely hard use environment. So that was something kind of interesting that I thought I would point out about this thing. Like, very pleasant surprise with the edge retention. Very happy with how that turned out. I am so surprised, and I know I did a couple of cuts. I'm going to do another one just because I can. And something else that I have coming in right now is we ordered some diamond paste and a brand new strop on Temu. And the grand total for a bunch of little syringes of paste and a new strop was $11. So I'm interested in seeing how that turns out. Because my current strop is like black buffing compound, or it may have been gray when I started and now it's black, and the white buffing rouge on the smooth side. And it's been getting results. It does good enough, but I want to see if the diamond paste does better and if it does faster. So we're definitely going to test that out. I'm going to have to dull out at least one knife really thoroughly. I'll probably go in on one of those Walmart knives just because they're the fastest thing to dull out that I have so far. And we're going to see whether or not the diamond paste makes a notable improvement. So I'm going to be happy to see that. I'm going to be happy to share that with y'all. And I should be doing a live stream tomorrow. I'll probably start around 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern and run until I've got to load up on meds and crash. And, hopefully we'll have fun with that. Yesterday's live stream was fun. We kind of got into old commercials, and that was actually a really cool trip down memory lane for a lot of us. Very enjoyable. And I am so glad you guys dropped by and hung out for that thing. That was a 4.5-hour live stream, and this thing took 4.5 hours of cutting cardboard before, we really needed to strop the edge up. And I can't remember if it was the first take or the second take, but if it is, I'll mention it again. But the hollow grind into this rather large flat, God, that made so much friction in those cuts. I used to love this kind of grind. The kind of Scandi grind, that was like what a knife should look like to me. It's kind of like the knife that I drew every time I drew a knife in middle school was that classic Scandi grind. And now I'm becoming more and more and more of a fan of a full flat grind. Like, those are so much better for everything that I need to do with them. These are more good for, they're better for harder use jobs and stuff like that, where you're really going to put some pressure on it. You've got some material here backing up the edge and supporting it. But those full flat grinds are just so nice to do this kind of cutting with. And, as we go along, we're going to step up into nicer and nicer knives until we hit the point where, like, I know I'm going to be there for 2 days cutting with no problems. So I thought I would share this with you. I hope you guys found this interesting. I hope you guys found this a little bit surprising, like those of us that were in the stream did. But all that being said, thanks for looking at my crap. Subscribers, thank you so much. You guys keep coming in. I'm grateful and humbled by it. We are getting closer and closer to 1,000 in that first giveaway. Looking forward to doing the giveaway. I'm looking forward to someone getting that knife. That's one of my favorites. But comments, I love some feedback. Let me know what you think about this or its performance. And all that being said, y'all have a nice day.